Hello guys, so welcome back once again on my channel. So in this video today we'll be learning how to cut a cargo pants. Okay, so that's tutorial for today guys. So this video will consist of how to cut a cargo pants with a crop top. So but I'll be cutting this video I'll be posting the cutting of the cargo pants first. So after which I'll go ahead and post the sewing of it, as well as the cutting and sewing of the crop top. Okay guys, so now you can see this fabric I have here. I have a crepe fabric. There are so many fabric. They have a chinos material you can use to sew your combat or a cargo pants. So but I'll be working with this particular material, which is crepe, the thicker one. So you first of all fold your fabric into two. So the measurement will determine your thigh measurement or your lap measurement divided by 2. That will determine the amount of fabric you'll be placing on fold. Okay, so at this point you're going to be using your thigh measurement divided by 2. So I'm still trying to get my measurements. So that's what I'm trying to do here. I want to make sure I don't waste fabric. So you can see at this point I've already gotten my thigh measure, which is 15 inches. My thigh is 30. So after that, the next thing is to, from the upper part where I marked my starting line, I'll go ahead and subtract 2 inches from my waistband. So after that, I'm going to divide my hip measurement by 4. That will serve as my crouch depth or crouch line. So after that, the next thing is to mark my knee line. So by this time, at this point, you have already measured or you have your measurement in handy. So then the next thing is the length of the pants plus your folding or hemming allowance. You can add 2 inches. So that is what I did down there. So from this crouch line, you're going to mark your hip line. You can use 9 inches for your hip line. So you can see I used 9 inches for my hip line. So this is my hip line. So after that, on that crouch line, you're going to divide your hip measurement by 4. So you're going to mark it from the crouch line up to the waist line. So after that, you connect. So the next thing on the crouch line, the next you're going to add your thigh measurement divided by 2. You're going to mark it. Then you connect, you make a curve like this. This will serve as your crotch curve. So you're going to connect. Then from there, on the upper waistline, you're going to mark your waist measurement divided by 4. So plus ½ inch allowance, because I won't be adding any dart, so I didn't add that allowance. So after that, you're going to connect it from the waist. You're going to connect to the hip line and the crouch line this way. So you can use your free hand. You can also use your hip curve. So from there, you can see from the crouch line, I came down by ½ inch. Then on the other side, the side of the waist, I also came up. I went up by ½ inch. So I went up by the side, and I came down ½ inch by the crouch line. So you're going to get the midpoint from your thigh measurement on the crouch. You're going to make the middle point from the thigh measurement. So you're going to mark it. So you can see this is the midpoint I have here. So I'm still trying to cross check. You're going to divide your thigh into 2. So that will serve as the middle point rather. So this is the middle point of the crouch line. So after that, the next thing now is to add your hip circumference, your knee circumference divided by 4. So you're going to divide it. I have 23 divided by 4. I have 6.5. You're going to divide it 23 or whatever measurement you have divided by 4. So I'm going to mark it on each line. So divided by 4, if you have 5 inches, you're going to mark 5 inches on each side. If you have 6, you're going to mark it 6 inches on each side. So then you're going to determine if you want your pants to be more like a palazzo or you want it pencil. So you are going to determine the kind of pants you want to use for the cargo pants. Some cargo pants come like a combat, like a palazzo, while some are fitted. So what I did there, I just came in by, I reduced the hemline, I reduced the ankle by, from the knee, I reduced it by 1 inch. So that's what I have, that's what I got for the line, the hem, the down part or the ankle, because I wanted it a little bit free like a palazzo. So I just reduced it by 1 inch, then I connected it. So now you can see I'm cutting it out. This is for the front. After cutting out the front, I'm going to use it to cut the back part of this pants. So guys, as you can see, I'm done cutting it out. I've already folded my fabric into 2. You can see I've placed my front piece, my front part on the folded material. So I'm going to locate the midpoint. You can see what I'm just trying to locate the midpoint. From that point to the middle point we marked earlier, we're going to also locate that midpoint. So you can see where my line is exactly on the crotch line. So you're going to extend it, or it's rather a little bit ½ inch in. So whatever you got, you're going to extend it up. That will serve as your back crotch line. So from there, you are going to measure whatever you have on your waist, you mark it plus extra 1 inch. Okay, so after that, you go ahead and connect. This is your extension, your crotch extension for the back. So after that, now the next thing is to add your 1 inch of allowance by the side. I'm going to add it by the side, both the crotch side and the hip side, from waist down to the hem. So I'm going to mark 1 inch for allowance. So sorry, the weather was a little bit, the wind was there at the time I was cutting this. So I'm trying to connect all the 1 inch line I marked. So after connecting it, the next thing now is to extend our crotch extension. So for the crotch extension, we are going to determine, so here I used 2.5 inches. The same thing I used to extend the upper part, that's the same thing I used for the crotch extension. So after that, now the next thing, you can see on the crotch line, I came down by ½ inch. You can see, so you can see the ½ inch. I'm trying to connect, so I've connected it. The crotch extension, I came down by ½ inch. So after that, you go ahead and connect your crotch curve. Is totally optional. So after that, the next thing is to connect our 1 inch of sewing allowance by the side as well. So now the next thing is to connect from the crotch extension down. I'm going to connect it in to the 1 inch sewing allowance. So you can see this is what I have here for the back. So the next thing now is to cut it out. So I'll just go ahead and cut out the back piece. Okay guys, so now we are done cutting it out. So the next thing now is for us to go ahead and mark this for the pocket. I came in by 3 inches. You can go in by 2 or 2.5. Then I came down by 5.5 or 6. depending on how you want your pocket, the design you want. You can see you can make it more like a V or a U. So I'll set this aside. They will go ahead and cut our pocket. We have a lot of pockets to cut out. First of all, I'll be cutting out the inner pockets. So I use unfold 8 inches unfold. Then the length is 12 inches. So you can see here the length is 12 inches. So, and unfold is 8 inches unfold. So this will serve as our inner front pocket. So I'll be cutting it two. We're cutting two of these. So after this, I'll go ahead and cut out the second one. We have a lot of pockets. Cargo pants is all about pockets. So many pockets. So this is the second one of our front pocket. I will cut it down. Then I will proceed to cut the other pockets. So I think in this style, we'll have a total of 4 cargo pockets plus the inner pocket, 2 front inner pocket, and 2 back pockets. So that's what you have. We have a total of 8 pockets. So now this is for the cutting of the cargo pants. So here I use 10 by 10. The width is 10 inches by 10 inches. That's for the smaller pocket. Okay, I have a smaller pocket and as well as the bigger one. So this is for the smaller one. So I'll be cutting 2 of these. So for the bigger one, I also cut out 2, which is I use 12 by 12 inches width and 12 inches length. So by this one is 10 by 10. This is for the smaller pockets. So you can determine how wide or big or small you want your cargo pants to be. So after that, the next thing is to cut out the pocket cover. The pocket cover would the length is determined by the wideness of your pocket, okay? But for the cover width, I used 4.5. You can use 4 inches or 3 inches depending on how wide or smaller you want the pocket cover to be. So after that, the next thing now, you can see I'm trying to duplicate the other one to cut out my pocket. So remember this 10 inches width I have here. When I'm sewing, we are going to sew in the middle, because when you check out the style, we have a box split in the middle of the pockets. There are so many designs of cargo pockets. There are a lot designs. So but the design I'm working on in this tutorial is the box in the middle. There is a box split in the middle of the pocket, so that will be the style I'll make. Okay guys, so right now is all about cutting of the pocket. So this video have to come to an end in this session. See you in the next video while I sew the cargo pant.